Oh, Mr. Turkey.
Put that thing away. You're gonna get rain on it.
He's getting the cobwebs off of it.
Ew, it is.
Oh, they took off. Well, that didn't work. Might be a good intro to the next video. It's all about trucks. All right, quit looking
I don't
at
know
me.
how to turn it off.
Name, what are we doing today?
Nothing.
Well, that wasn't much of a cold start. Oh, spoke too soon. Best one. Well, we should make that last.
It's cold-blooded.
There we go. We're gonna spread some manure today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are going to get my b61 Mack ready for inspection. No, I'm just teasing. I love antique plates. You skip all that crap. But we are going to work on the B model Mack today. We have a job in Swickley coming up. I think Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, whatever day they decide. We're going to go down there and take off a gate that one of the Netflix production people hit, and they didn't mean to hit this gate, so we have to go down there and pull it off and fix it. They welded the gate to the hinges, so it was all built basically on site. It's permanent, so we have to go down there and cut it off. We already straightened the spindles out last week. We tried touching it up with paint what the customer used, and it just doesn't match to the customer's expectations, even though they provided the paint. So they said just go down there, cut the gate off, sandblast it, paint it, make it a new color, whatever they want. It's on us. We hit it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down there, we're gonna cut the gate off, we're gonna sandblast it, we're gonna paint it, not powder coat it, and then what else? We're gonna go put it back in with the weld it back onto the hinges and touch up the paint. But I do have a marker light that's not working on that truck, and the problem with that is if it's not working, you know, I can potentially get harassed, not harassed, but pulled over just to say, hey, your light's not working. Hey, while we're here, can I see your driver? Blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna bypass all that, make sure everything works in the truck. Check the fluids, give it some grease. I'll show you how to grease them kingpins. It's not a very cold day today. It's
Probably,
If you bring home $350 a week,
45.
$25,000 in credit, 25 grand.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to start off with is getting the hard part to me over with is greasing the kingpins. It's not really hard, it's actually pretty easy, it's just time consuming a little bit because when you grease the kingpins, you can't just grease it. You have to jack the truck up. So, we're going to jack the truck up and grease these things. But there's just grease everywhere falling off these. But these are your kingpins right here. It's through this whole thing here. You're gonna want to grease them. I jacked the truck up because a lot of mechanics say if you don't jack the truck up, it's bound in the position it's in. So let's say if it's bound this way some, you have an air gap here, it'll fill that with grease, but this side never got grease because it's pinched off. So if you jack the truck up, the grease will flow all the way around it pretty evenly. So that's what we're gonna do. And just when you get in a position, you run out of grease. Okay, it's not full. The reason why you don't fill these all the way up, I just added about a quarter of a gallon. There is no expansion tank, so when the truck heats up, it just goes out the overflow, and that's why you pretty much won't see the antifreeze in here, at least in my scenario anyway. I don't have an expansion tank for the tube to fill up and then suck when it needs it, so it just dumps out. So I just add a little bit every once in a while, just make sure it has some. Anybody else wear contacts and try and work in a dirty field like this? Sucks. I think I got more dirt on my eye than I do on my back. But anyhow, quarter oil, and we're done. Hey guys, February 19th right now. I'm working on the B model Mack up at the shop, and I figured I would grab you guys and bring you along, being the camera was at home. So, what we got going on? So I am working on the Mack right now. I don't know if I said this in my other video when I was getting it ready. We were changing the lights out and going over the grease. We were greasing it. But I developed an air leak the other day. I was going to a welding job down the road from me to help her out, and I noticed when I shut the truck off, and just I don't know why I put my foot on the brake and I can hear an air leak only when I press the brake pedal in. So I fixed that line this morning. Then I noticed the passenger side axle was leaking, so I decided to pull the axle and put a new seal on it. So that's what made me decide to bring you guys along, show you what I'm doing, what's going on, and go from there. So we're gonna go up to the shop after this guy passes his driveway. And I already pulled the axle out, that's why I'm kind of dirty. Freaking grease is, or that gear oil is everywhere. But I mean, I just put some gasket maker stuff on there that's made for oil. It's tacking up right now, so I'm gonna squeeze it back on here in a second. And that truck will be ready to go now. The airline's fixed, the axle seal's done, marker lights are fixed, the whole thing's greased, fluids are all checked, so that truck's ready to go. And then on the Kenworth, I want to pull that axle out and just make sure the passenger side axle's not broke, because I went through that main shaft. The main shaft is still good. We put it all back together, and it's still not going through that front axle. The drive shaft just spins on its own. It doesn't until I flip the locker on, and then it spins the driver's side front tire. That's it. So, you know, it's probably something further in the front rear end. But before I get in there, take the drive shaft off and take that whole front stuff off, I'm gonna pull the passenger side front axle out and just confirm that's not broke, because that takes about, I don't know, maybe an hour said and done with making the gasket, letting it tack, and putting it back on. I could pull it in about 3 minutes, clean it. That takes about 10. Gasket maker, let it tack up for 10, put it back on in 5 minutes. So about a half hour, 45 minutes to put that back together if it's not broke. So that's a hell of a lot easier than going through the whole rear end. So. Oh, Carl, I brought your favorite friends. Same mood. Always a dick. All right. Okay. Who did? Greg did.
Huh?
Who told you you could be anything?
Always told me I could be anything. I just chose to be an asshole.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna slide that back in there. Yeah, you perfected that. That's our new guy, John. We're training him. That's heavy for one hand. He's getting it. I stuck him with Carl. Carl really putting that shit into his head. All right, I'm gonna go park this truck and we're gonna go work on that truck. There's no fluid in it because I already drained it from earlier. Doesn't sound broken. Nope. That sucks.